Hello, all, welcome to Sivan's SAP PhD training. So today I would like to highlight some features about the differences between SAP end user and SAP consultant. The SAP end user roles and responsibilities, how they perform their activities in the system, and then what exactly the SAP consultants do in the system. So those differences, and also the SAP end users, those who wanted to transform their profile from SAP end user to SAP consultant role, please reach out to us so that we will guide you and we will train you accordingly in the form of SAP S400 SD training. Or also we will suggest about, based on your end user activities, we will suggest which module is suitable for you all, so that you people can choose the right career to transform your SAP end user profile to SAP consultant. Thank you all. So let us get into the system. So SAP end users are the persons who perform the transactions in the SAP production system, whereas SAP consultants who really set up the system. SAP end users are always in the front end, whereas the SAP consultants who are always be in the back end. For example, SAP end users who performs the transactions related to OTC, like creation of sales orders, deliveries, and billing documents, transactions related to FSEO, any financial transactions, and transactions related to creation of purchase orders, purchase requisitions, and goods receipt, and invoice receipts. So, like these are all the activities are performed by the SAP end user. Whereas SAP SD consultant or SAP consultant or SAP FSEO consultant or SAP PPQM consultants, they will be confined to only their areas only. So they will not come out and then they will perform the other modules transactions. That is what happens in real time. Only one consultant is responsible to that particular module only, and but they will integrate with each other wherever it is required. They will integrate with each other. So that is why SAP consultants who really configure the system in the backend to make the job of SAP end users very easy. SAP end users will have the create access or create role in the production system, whereas SAP consultants will have only display access in the production system. So we will not be having. That means all the SAP SD consultant or MMPPQM FSEO consultants, we will not be having creation access in the production system. Upon the request, upon the um, any important thing to be or any transactions to be checked or performed, then only we have to take the permission from the business, and then we have to take the access, and then accordingly we have to complete that particular transaction immediately and then close that particular system. So that is what happens in real time. SAP end users who cannot perform any kind of transactions until the SAP consultants complete the system configuration in the backend. So for example, any company code creation or sales organization, sales area setup, payment term setup, purchase organization setup or group setup, customer vendor master data setup, all these setups are not yet completed means the system is not ready, and then the SAP end users, those who are having access to create, they will not be able to create unless and until the system is ready. If, for example, any new requirement comes in, such as new customer account group or supplier account group or payment terms, shipping conditions, shipping point or transportation group, SAP end user cannot perform these kind of activities, and they have to reach us to the SAP consultants through their core or business users to configure the system. Once it is configured in the system, then we will complete all the testings in the lower environments like development system, and unit testing we will perform there, and quality system we will perform their integration testing, and then we will finally we will ask the business to perform the UAT, that is user acceptance testing in the quality system. Once they complete them, then only we will move the changes to the production system. The moment the changes are moved to the production system, then onwards, the SAP end users can use the transactions or create the transactions related to particular change. So this is about the differences between SAP SD, SAP end users, and SAP consultants. So SAP end users who can perform the transactions of multiple modules at a time or multiple departments. He can create directly sales order, delivery, billing. and also purchase order and MD04 transaction, FS00, OBD2, MyRo transaction, and MyGo transactions. That means he will be having access to all the modules transactional data. So all the modules he can use it, and then he can generate the reports also where he will be having access to them. Whereas SAP consultants cannot perform all the configurations. The respective module owner will perform the respective changes. Like FICO consultant will perform all the finance related configurations like accounts receivable and accounts payable. KSD consultant will perform all the sales and distribution related configurations, OTC, order to cash. Consultant will perform all the purchasing related configurations, procure to pay, and like procure to pay. PPQM consultant will perform all the production and quality related configurations. So these consultants are known as functional consultants. Any program changes or reports generation, creation, or outputs modifications and all, the ABAP team will be there. So advanced business application programming language team, that is called technical teams or technical consultants, who will closely work with the functional consultants to achieve the uh, whatever the reports they wanted to perform or the program to be modified or anything new to be included. So then we have to work with the ABAP team, so they will perform all the activities, and then we have to do the thorough testing. So consultants are responsible to set up the system so that end users can be able to perform the transactions in the system on day-to-day basis. So these are all the roles and responsibilities of an end user, and then versus the SAP consultant. So whatever the backend system configurations are there, those will be taken care by the SAP consultants, and then the end users, they will be doing or performing all the transactional data transactions. So this is all about the differences between SAP end users and then SAP consultants. I again repeat that any end user or any any end users who are working with any modules, any industry, any these things. So they can reach out to us to transform their profile from SAP end user to SAP consultant. So we will help you out how to go all about. Thank you all. Have a nice day.